That was my bad. I completely forgot to add us to this group. But by the way, we're back after a long-awaited little hiatus we had for the holidays. Because you know what? We need Christmas, too. We need New Year's. We need Three Kings Days coming up on Friday. Get your grass and your water for the camels, ladies and gentlemen. The Epiphany is right around the corner. When we needed to spend that time with our families, we had a couple family members got sick over the holidays, so that kind of put the kibosh on a couple plans.
That'll happen.
I think all of us. I think all of us experienced that, where some of our family members got sick and we couldn't see them for the holiday.
Yeah, dude, that was definitely going around. Everybody seemed to get hit with the bug, pretty much right into the holidays. So that's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
We made it down to Atlantic City, though. We would have had more stuff. Sorry, our beer and a take ended abruptly on day 22. I started filming day 23, and a person that shall not be named decided to interrupt my day 23 take with innocuous dancing, and then didn't want us to post it.
I don't think it was innocuous.
I'm
suggestive, if anything.
Okay, that's fair.
It was definitely suggestive. I mean, listen, you don't hear Cher in the background and a grown man going like this and say it's innocuous. That's totally suggestive.
Happy New Year to the Divots and Pivots podcast.
Absolutely.
Awesome dudes over there.
We are definitely feeling fresh. So fresh and so clean.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Dude, this is the time of year where I start really kind of honing in on golf, and Divots and Pivots get you there, where it's like, come on, March and April, bring on the outdoor golf. Because you know what? As much as I enjoy the simulator, it's not the same thing.
You know, we had we were gone for a little bit, and we're back, and welcome back. And it's good to be back. It's good to talk about sports and sporting things and things of that nature. And one of the things that hold on. Let's see what Mr. LeDuc has to say. Saw my Masters commercial on Sunday. I almost cried with joy. You know what? I feel the same way when it's baseball season, right around opening day. When pitchers and catchers report, I start getting excited. And then right around opening day, I swear to God, opening day, I always post the same thing on Facebook, because Facebook is for friends and family. I always post the same thing. And what I post is a quote from the movie 61, where Roger Maris jumps in the air and robs a home run from Mickey Mantle. Bob Serve trops over, and he's like, come on, Raj, what are you trying to do? Break your leg? And Roger looks at Bob and goes, oh, come on, Bob. It's opening day. And every time I see that, or I think, I'm like, that's how I feel. I want to cry sometimes when I think about how much I love baseball.
See, even it's funny. Out of all my sports teams, I'm a diehard Ranger fan, probably first and foremost, right? And then it's the Yankees and the Jets. But the Rangers are just top tier. That's my team. But even the Rangers on opening night, even if it's the first round of the playoffs, game one, I don't get as hyped as seeing the Masters commercials and then seeing there's a shade of green, right, in Augusta that grass and the greens are that.
Oh, I know.
It's not attainable. Like, it's not for us, like, lowly bums of society. It's only for the rich. Like even if you wanted to go there and just smell it, you'd probably have to pay $100 fee. Like that, you can't not get pumped for the Masters and see those greens, the undulations, and the fact that I know at some point I'm going to end up spending like $1,000 on tickets to go because I just can't win that lottery to save my life.
Yeah, I got a military discount to smell that grass. It was good, though.
Yeah. You smelled the grass in Augusta, Georgia, not at Augusta National.
Raise your hand if you've been to Augusta, Georgia 3 times in your life. Raise your hand if you live there combined a total of 9 months of your life.
And you've never been to the only place that counts in Augusta, Georgia. So
that's not true. I have been. I've got pics.
Nope.
I don't know. With the light switch in it on the grass, the outlet.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
See? There we go. The undulation.
Yeah. Andrew's getting excited in his undies.
Dude, I if you're a golf lover and a Masters commercial pops on, and even though I don't particularly like Jim Nantz, but just hearing that voice, it's like, oh shit, we know what time it is. And then even the tournaments going up to it, I enjoy because I know what's like right there. And then that's where like my handicapping mind starts going, just seeing how these guys play these courses, because it's a few of those tournaments are pretty tough going in there. You know what I mean? So it's always good to see who's coming out going to get the hot start.
You know what? I want to do something a little different today because I'm feeling fancy.
You gonna kiss a man instead? Never mind.
It's gonna get wild. It's gonna get crazy. We're gonna start it off hot.
Whiskey of the week.
What are we drinking, guys?
Holy shit!
Brooke's not drinking anything. He just put his kids to bed.
It's almost as if you knew I
don't feel well. I've been dealing with a stomach issue all freaking week.
I want to hear that shit. Real quick question, doctor. Okay, name me one simple compound that will kill most anything if it's strong enough.
Alcohol.
There you go. So don't tell me you don't feel good, boy. Especially with like a stomach bug, alcohol will kill it.
You never apologize. We don't apologize for talking golf ever, ever. Love the golf talk.
No, I can't drink. I am
Irish whiskey. Very nice.
That's good. You know what? We don't even need you to drink because we got divots and pivots out there letting us know what they're drinking. I want to give me a little quick blur. You're going to hear TJ's review of his whiskey. And I want to see something similar of yours. If I had to put money down, I would say that there would be hints of vanilla and caramel,
caramel.
With a wood taste. But that's just my I guess.
And
but no, the Irish whiskey
and the level of ethanol.
Not the Irish whiskey has more of I would say almost
and Dick.
I would say Irish whiskey always reminds me almost like a hint of like iodine, like that salty, like
acid, because it's acid.
It just has that like note to it that I always pick up, and I can always tell if it's an Irish whiskey or not. It just has that note to it that I don't know. I can't wordsmith what it tastes like, but I can wordsmith the shit out of this.
There we go. Blanton's.
Bam. Blanton's straight from the barrel.
Nice.
Broke out a good one tonight, so. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to savor this. Throw up I am thinking of Pete. You're absolutely right. Throw up his review. Hold on while I save it.
There you go. So Andrew says that that what he's drinking has a slight peat taste and vanilla, but it is smoother than most without the burning kick. Just smoky enough to flow down your throat.
That's what she said.
It's like my first time in a bar.
Actually, I had Blanton's the first time because we went to we went to AC. I picked it up on the way down there, and it really is. I don't know why you always hide it away and want to like stock up on it. It is so.
Hold on, you did what now? You got a great bottle of whiskey and didn't share it with your bros down in AC?
No, the Blanton's. TJ knows. We talked about this.
I'm sorry, I didn't get any of that.
I didn't share with anyone, and I didn't take it out of my car. I left it in my car the whole weekend. I wasn't going to use it.
Yeah, so when I grab Blanton, like the straight from the barrel is different, and all these specialty ones are completely different, like the gold, the black, the red version from Japan. There's a bunch of different ones, and at that point, it's just collectability. This is, you guys know I like cast strength stuff and high proof stuff. This is going off at 123.3 proof, so pretty up there as far as my collection goes. One of the, I would say, in the top 5 as far as proof goes, but this is one of my favorite bottles. It's got that intensity with the alcohol. It's got the high proof going. And while Blanton's is great, the regular Blanton's, it's 93 proof, and it almost seems watered down to me. It has an awesome flavor, and everybody says it's very approachable, and it's smooth. And that's because I feel like it's watered down a little bit too much. It's made to be that smooth, easy sipping whiskey. And the problem is, at the secondhand market price where, you know, that bottle of whiskey is about $64 in our area, and you can't touch it for at least 110, 120. If you get lucky and go to a place that doesn't mind, you know, sells in volume, so they don't mind selling it for only a couple bucks over typical MSRP, you can get those bottles for like 70, $75, which is always a buy at that point, because you know you're not going to, the next time you see it, it's going to be on a shelf for 125 to 150. And don't get me wrong, Blanton's is good pour. It's just the proof, the 93 proof at that price point. it's like, nah, you could have done better. But this, I mean, I think I spent, I want to say $250 on this. And I mean, it's expensive, but I break this out every once in a while, and it is just so damn good. It's like, it's full flavored Blanton's in my mind. It's got the proof. The proof is hiked up. It's got that smooth characteristic, but you get more flavor out of it instead of just that nice run-of-the-mill easy sipper. You get more of the char from the barrel, more of the oak, and the caramel is way more pronounced. But it is still a smooth sipper. It's just got a little more oomph to backing it up.
I like how instead of putting the caramel and the vanilla in the front, he did it on the back end. That was slick. Like we wouldn't notice.
Love the horsepower, TJ. We should talk whiskey sometime soon. I was in a club up here and had over 60 different ones. Very nice, dude. Absolutely. Let me know whenever you want. I'll talk whiskey. I think right now I have like a 40-something, maybe just low 50s bottle collection currently. And my wife says I have a problem, and I say my problem is I don't have enough. So
we have a whiskey club, but we haven't met in like 7 months.
Yeah. I mean, listen, our boy Dave is deployed. He can't be with us. Not that that would ever stop us from drinking whiskey with the boys, but yeah, we have a little club that we do, whiskey with friends, where essentially we pick a price point, everybody brings a bottle, and then we taste test everybody's and rate them and shit on whoever brought the crappiest bottle.
Usually it's me.
You have being said,
I do it on purpose.
it's a tradition.
It's tradition. I have to bring the shittiest one while I drink everybody else's good whiskey.
Yeah, but you're still paying the same price. Now you're just stuck with that bottle.
It just sucks. Yeah.
A lot of old fashions getting made with high-end bottles because you pick out the wrong ones.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yep, that's what I'm doing right now because I broke out that Jefferson's Ocean bottle that was absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
What I did though is I got myself a little turbinado sugar cube.
Okay. Not that bad.
We'll give Rook the level of I don't know. At the very least, he's bringing a benchmark. A little better than Old Crow.
One time
but I'm pretty sure it's the same. I think Old Crow is also a Buffalo Trace, isn't it?
No, but I once brought the Russell one. You guys were like, "Oh, this is supposed to be a really good bottle," and that being terrible.
Dude, that was one of the most disappointing. The Russell's 10-year. I was so excited to try that, and I absolutely love Jim Beam.
And that's Jim right. Beam that Russell bottle sucked. It just had a flashback.
Yeah. And that was the crazy part. And that reminded me of the time I finally got to try the McKenna that everybody raved about. And, you know, it won best bourbon a few years back in the San Francisco whiskey competition or whatever. And my brother happened to find a McKenna, and we popped that shit open. I think it's a 10-year, whatever it was. And we tried it. We're like, oh, this isn't good. Like, this is kind of awful. Like, we finally got to try this, and it's a letdown. Like, even our own like brains, you figured it would have pumped it up in our minds a little bit more and gave it a little bonus points. Not at all. It was this dog shit. And then the same thing happened with the Russell's 10, which is supposedly a great bottle. Like I said, I like Wild Turkey. I like anything from Jim Beam, that sort of flavor profile, and it just didn't hit the mark. I got to try the Russell's Reserve though, the single barrel, and maybe we just had a bad bottle. I don't know. Everybody can't be wrong.
That a goal. Wow. So I'm sorry, Andrew. We actually shared this Jefferson's Ocean. This is Voyage 24, and we all agreed it was garbage.
Wasn't that great?
So I went and I got myself some bitters and some orange bitters and some what do they call it? I just had the word and I lost it. Something about smell.
Cherry?
No. I got orange bitters and
Angostura bitters.
No. They're called something.
You got the Woodford Reserve ones, didn't you?
Yeah, the Woodford Reserve ones, but I can't remember what. There's two types of bitters. Traditional bitters are just called bitters, but they're called aromatic bitters. There you go.
Yeah.
It has something to do with smelling.
Yes, that's right.
So I got some aromatic
distillery.
bitters.
I gotta check that out.
And I got aromatic bitters, and I got some orange bitters, a little turbinado sugar cube, and the Woodford Reserve cherries. They make cherries now at Woodford Reserve.
Nice.
And I made myself an old fashioned tonight, and it's pretty damn good. I finally found something to do with this Jefferson's Ocean because it is not good, dude.
So you're not. I would assume then you can't do old fashions, then, huh? I'm not a huge bitters guy, but with the old fashioned, it just goes.
Yeah.
Especially like I like to use the orange bitters more than the Angostura bitters anyway. But I've had like smoked bitters, which were awesome. I tried grapefruit bitters. They were a little too bitter. Like not obviously they're bitters, but a little too much of that citrus bitterness to it. Like that kind of doesn't make you pucker like a lemon, but like still gives you that like face. Yeah, it didn't really go well, but.
Just to add before we move on to sports, I actually got a Christmas gift from my brother-in-law. It was an amazing one, and Woodford Reserve makes little old-fashioned kits. They come in like an Altoids case, and it has like it has a muddler. It has 6 sugar cubes like in a box.
Nice.
A little thing of bitters, a little thing of it's a little thing of aromatic bitters, a little thing of orange bitters, a little thing of grapefruit bitters. It comes like a little muddlers on one side, a spoon on the other side, and nice. some metal toothpicks, which is what I was using to hold my cherry, my Woodford Reserve cherry on my.
You got hooked up.
Drink tonight, and it was awesome. And
who's that? Ian hooked you up?
Ian, I only got one brother-in-law. He's the greatest man I know.
I heard brother, and then I kind of like got lost in my whiskey, so I wanted to make sure you're talking about your brother-in-law. So Ian,
my brother-in-law.
Ian's a Ranger fan, and he hooks you up with like exactly what a man needs to get himself a nice cocktail. How do you beat that?
And he's Shanny Irish,
dude. I mean, well, that you can't beat that. Smoked old fashions, I can do. Smoking it is just too good. Hell yeah. The only thing I don't like is I've had it at a bar where they smoke it on the wood, and they just kind of put the cup over it. I tried using one of those smoking kits that my brother bought for like $25 online, and it just tastes like dead leaves. And it tastes like when like you just like light a fire in the woods because you're an asshole kid and you want to play with matches. Like it just tasted awful. And I'm like, maybe next time buy like the $35 smoking kit, not the cheap $20 one. The kit came with different types of wood. So I think we used cherry wood in it and, lit it up with the torch. Smoked it up nice, and it just
I got a little apple wood. I'm gonna give that a try. Ooh. But we move on. We're talking sports.
We're moving on. Yeah, I know. Sports, drinking, they go hand in hand.
Hockey season, obviously, and the Rangers.
Oh, here we go. We got a little nastiness going in the corner.
Up 2-0 against the Blackhawks as a fight breaks out. Not a fight, a scrum. Bit of a scrum. Little hands and face action.
Say, just to cover the Islanders real quick, they suck.
That's a fact.
Devils won last night against the Capitals.
Who cares?
But they suck too.
We just lost our last viewer on the Devils note.
Shit.
The only Devils fan we know is here on the podcast with us. So
that's not true.
Tonight, Chris Kreider. I thought he kicked that puck in, but they gave him the goal anyway.
We deserve one every once in a while since they never go our way, right?
With a goal tonight, Brendan Othman called up. That's the big news today.
Yeah, that's a big story.
He had a couple shots on goal already in the first period.
I was eating dinner. I wasn't watching the game, and I saw the Rangers post a take a lap, Brennan, or no, take a lap, Potter. And I was like, did he just score? And I missed it because I didn't watch the first 20 minutes.
No, they let him take the ice first and do a loop.
That's cute.
That's awesome, dude. You know what? What I'm waiting for is hopefully by next year we get a nice Young Guns Brendan Othman rookie card coming out in the Topps hockey collection because I need something to search for. I got my Lafreniere rookie. I got my Jason Robertson rookie card. So I need something else to delve into as far as hockey cards go because let's face it, I'm not looking for a McJesus card and spending $4,000 on an unopened box to only find out that it's fucking old Pokemon cards.
Old Pokemon cards might be worth more than McJesus.
Yeah.
No, God, no.
You need something to spend your money on besides bourbon.
Hold on. If you find a holographic Charizard from 1998 or whatever, it's worth more than anything.
No, it's not.
It's worth more than McJesus, 100%.
No way.
I feel like it is.
I can pull up probably
There are more Pokemon fans than there are fucking hockey fans.
Yeah, but you see, even a first edition graded mint 10 Charizard, right? It's gonna get you. It's gonna fetch you, 100K maybe. You got to look at how many McJesus cards are one of one and just insane. Like, I mean, game used jersey signed. His rookie card alone, graded 10 mint. I want to say is like 15, 20 grand. So those one-on-one cards are going to fetch a lot more than that.
Just so you know, the Charizard grade 10 sold for $420,000.
Is that the Jake Paul buy, though, that like inflated the market and nobody ever is going to fucking spend that again? Wasn't that Jake Paul that spent that?
That's a tough call.
idea.
I don't know. This
I'm
one says
almost
it's
positive.
Shadowless Hollow.
Whatever.
It's only the third highest price ever paid for a Pokemon card. That $420K. So I don't know what the first two are, but somebody paid a ridiculous amount of money for some Pokemon cards.
One of them is that card that they only made for, like, I want to say the creator or the owner of.
So this is they
made a one-of-one card that like wasn't meant to be sold. It's just a rare. I know that. I'm a fucking nerd. Holy shit.
But
anyway,
so we'll see how the kid does today. Rangers are on fire. Shesty seems to have gotten himself back to center where he needed to be.
Yeah,
after that last loss, that embarrassing.
No more controversy.
No, there's no controversy, but it'd be nice if the Rangers would go on a win streak again, because it seems like they're back to that win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game.
Yeah, I believe right now
we need to go on a run. Something like that, yeah. Listen, they're still in great position, but you don't want to see them slip. Definitely not now.
A little drama from some of our favorite past Rangers.
Ooh, I like drama.
What's that?
Right? I mean, T, you tell me. You sent me the video.
Oh, well, if we're going to discuss that, I think it's more or less just two dudes that may have an issue, but, Sean Avery essentially called out our boy, our fan favorite.
Yeah.
I wish Nick would have his jersey sitting out right now. You bought his jersey,
Sean
right?
Avery's?
No.
Ian bought that jersey for his friend Dwayne.
Oh. Why did I think you got it?
No, I have an Avery jersey.
Right. I knew that, obviously.
Yeah.
Probably, what, your favorite Ranger by far?
Avery, yes, because he's a fucking pest. But a classy pest.
Yeah.
He's in T-Net.
Can you pull up that video, actually? We might as well just play it and hear from Avery himself.
That was the throwback. Oh, the video for my birthday?
No, the one I sent you.
Oh, sugar, honey iced tea. Ew, I can't do it here. I can't.
I don't even have my phone on me.
But
would send it to myself.
I mean, I can, but it's going to take a minute, and we're going to have some dead air time. But so do you think that he was starting not a fight, but do you think it was just a criticism overall, or do you think it was like a shots fired?
I honestly think he was just speaking to the truth of the fact that Ryan Reeves is older. He's essentially there to play a role, and that's it. You're not getting offense out of him. Sean Avery's not wrong. He's there to kill time, but at the same time, at least, I mean, I haven't been watching, but at least when he was with the Rangers, the fourth line ate up time very well, and their plus minus was fantastic. For the amount of time that Reeves spent on the ice, it wasn't the typical fourth line letdown, like, oh, here we go, here's where we're going to lose it. Like, Reeves dominated the corner and was able to keep the puck deep and get the puck deep. He's just not going to be able to score for you. And in this league, it's not as much role playing anymore as it is scoring goals and producing offensively.
And here's that clip. It's 32 seconds, and we were getting this from TikTok.
Ask Ryan Reeves, what planet do you live on, brother? I know you're in Toronto right now, and everybody's buying you Tim Hortons and Timbits, and you're getting back pats everywhere you go. Okay, but what is wrong with you? You will be out of the lineup by game 46.
Why is that?
because you're a
It's a hot
clock killer.
take.
You can't play in the league anymore. So please check yourself when referring to Corey Perry not being your equal in the toughness department.
So he's absolutely, listen, Ryan Reeves is absolutely right. I don't think there's anybody in the league right now that stands up peak toughness. Not Ryan Reeves right now, it is what it is. He's towards the end of his career. He's finishing up a great career. I know we can take that away from him, but peak toughness in the last 15 years, I don't think anybody's peak toughness better than Revo that we've seen.
I haven't seen anybody. And when we say toughness, I know somebody out there is going to be, what about Tom Wilson? Tom Wilson only fights people that he can beat.
Yeah.
He won't step up to everybody in the league. Revo, the Grim Reaver, he's going to sit there and he's going to step up to everybody in the league and he's going to smile when he does it.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Tom Wilson isn't a tall task to get into a scrap with. But at the same time,
he's not fighting Reeves.
And I don't think it's very rare to pull up a clip and see somebody absolutely get the better of Reeves. And there's clips of people getting the better of Tom Wilson. So it's as simple as that. Reeves doesn't have the offensive prowess that Tom Wilson does. And if Tom Wilson wasn't such a dickhead and fucking figured out how to play in the league without being a dirty asshole and taking cheap shots at smaller guys, right? He'd be an asset. I wouldn't want somebody like Tom Wilson on my team because I think he's just a dick and he's a distraction. Somebody like Reeves being on the team where literally from day one, he's helping out Rangers learn how to fight, especially the younger guys, and giving them little tips and tricks because guess what? That art is dead. It's gone and it's never coming back to the NHL. And I wouldn't talk shit about Corey Perry. That's a whole weird situation. And Corey Perry's a hell of a hockey player. The man can skate. The man can shoot. He can pass. He's a multi-tool athlete. I don't know what Reeves said about him. So, I mean, with the controversy going on, everybody has a take. But I think there's no reason to shots fired at Reeves as far as his toughness goes in the league. You want to say, like, listen, dude, you're winding down your career. You're just getting whatever scrap money you can get out of the league and you want to keep skating out there and play puck. That's fine. That's justified because that's what's going on. But Avery can't really question Reeves's fucking commitment to the scrap because
I don't.
The last 15 years, nobody's been better.
I don't think he's questioning his toughness. I think he's just sitting there saying, like, dude, you're there to kill time right now, like, and kind of keep the game clean as the game goes along. But don't sit there and a guy who's the new version of you and try to diminish what he's done because you did it 10 years ago. Because it ain't 10 years ago.
They're two different players. Like Reeves and Corey Perry are completely different players.
No, I'm not saying they're the same player, but I'm just saying is you're in your mind like you're Reeves 10 years ago, but you're not. You're Reeves today, bud.
Yeah, but still, like Reeves was never a threat to score. I think his highest season, maybe he had 8 goals or something like that.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that I think Avery's saying, dude, like you're not Ryan Reeves 10 years ago. You're Ryan Reeves.
I get it. Right. And Avery's pretty much sitting there like, glass house, buddy. Don't fire shots when you can be on the receiving end of a lot of shots. I understand that. Yeah. But at the same time, Reeves is the best to do it in the past decade and a half, 2 decades. So you know what I mean? Like that's why he's still in the league. He's still in the league because his presence alone can create a difference in a game. You know what I mean? No one's going to take liberties on you. And there's in my mind, there's still a place for those kind of role players. It's just hockey has a different mindset now. But you can't attack Reeves and say anything because at the end of the day, he's going to go down as one of the all-time great tough guys. So you know what? It's just sad that the NHL doesn't put any onus on that anymore, or hubris and raise that up to where the level it used to be. Because you know what? Let's call it what it is. The fucking Broad Street Bullies beat the shit out of people to win the fucking Stanley Cup. So you can't say the toughness factor has nothing to do with hockey because the fucking Broad Street Bullies literally fucked the league up so bad that they won a Stanley Cup. It was like, hey, we're just going to go out there and hurt you repeatedly. And then if we score, great.
I saw that movie.
That's true.
It's called Slapshot. It was overrated.
Great movie.
Drive on.
You do. Drive on.
Break.
Fantasy Sports Corp and Underdog Fantasy have teamed up to start your fantasy season off in the win column with Best Ball. What is Best Ball? It's quite simply the easiest way to win. No team management, no trades, no waivers. It's their biggest contest ever and it has only gotten bigger. You simply have to sit and win. You don't even have to set your lineup. Always get your best score every week. Just enter a contest, draft your team, and Underdog will do the rest. What could make this even better? How about free money, up to $100 using our exclusive promo code? Go online now and use the promo code Scoreboard to double your deposit up to $100. You tell them Gingerbread sent you. Good girl.
Thank you, Gingerbread. Before we get into football at the NFL level, I just wanted to get into a little 5 seconds of college football. Obviously, this week was bowl weekend, which once upon a time was a very big deal.
Yeah, not anymore.
And the college football playoffs and the farce that is kind of just eliminated. And when I was talking to Jason on Twitter because I had said something like, we all saw what happened with Florida State versus Georgia, and there's no secret I am a Florida State fan, but I am also a smart Florida State fan that knows that Georgia probably the best team in the country. At the same time, Florida State lost 27 of their players, and I want to say 12 of them were starters. 27 of their players elected not to play in a meaningless bowl game. And Jason said it's the Orange Bowl. It's like the 6th most important bowl. There are no important bowls anymore.
No.
Important bowl implies that the Rose Bowl is an important bowl. It's only important if you win. And I take it back. It's only important if you win the national championship. Because you're not going to win the Rose Bowl, play in the national championship, and then sit there and hang your hat on, well, at least we won the Rose Bowl. Get the fuck out of here. Who's doing that? What kind of a loser team sits there, goes to the championship of whatever sport they play, and says, well, at least we won our conference? Imagine who the fuck this isn't 1902 baseball where you won the pennant in your league and the league was so divided that you were like, I won the pennant, good enough. And the following season, the Giants refused to play the AL in 1904 because they were like, fuck it, we won the NL. That's good enough. This isn't that. This isn't that. So, like, winning the Rose Bowl literally means nothing if you don't win the national championship. It means that you won the ALDS, you won the AFC championship. Oh, great, you got a Lamar Hunt trophy. The other motherfucker got the Vince Lombardi trophy, the thing you've been fighting for your whole life for. So you got 60 seconds. Congratulations.
I think what also ruins it is, like, you can't enjoy them. Like, you're going to watch a team in a bowl game. Doesn't like, it's not good because everyone, like, opts out because you're like Ohio State. The score was 3-0 until the fourth quarter.
Everybody opts out because they made out. So once upon a time, right, when they had the BCS Championship Series, they would rank the bowls, right? And if you won your bowl game, the following season, you would be ranked higher. So you had incentive to play that bowl game. You had incentive to play in the non-national championship game because it was like national championship would be the Fiesta Bowl. You're number 1. The Sugar Bowl would be number 2 or whatever. And it would Orange Bowl, the Toyota Gator Bowl, whatever the hell it was going to be like. And they would there would be a tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And whatever tier you won added to the AP and the coaches poll the following season. So you wanted to win the bowl game because if you were a junior, being higher ranked the following season meant something because that means you can be in a better position to fight for a national championship. But now once the season's over and you're not in the college football playoffs, nobody cares anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It's a terrible product. It's not fun watching anymore. There's no point in
what the NCAA did. They did it to themselves. They made it inconsistent. They made it a joke. And what's even worse is you have people on Twitter defending the NCAA saying like, oh, well, FSU didn't deserve to be there. It's like, okay, what else could they have fucking done other than go undefeated? Like, what else could they have done? You're saying FSU should just not even bother playing in their own fucking – they should just not even bother playing next year because at the end of the day, if they run it up and fucking score 100 points on every single team that they play, you still might get, oh, well, you know what? We can't not include Bama because that's where the viewership comes from because you got a whole bunch of fake fucking redneck Bama fans from all over because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they're like, oh, yeah, roll tide. It's like, dude, you're fucking Saskatchewan. Cut the shit. There's no fucking tide where you are. There's just fucking ice and cold and misery. Like,
but you're absolutely right. And then a lot of fans sat there and said, well, Georgia played their players. Florida State has a culture problem. Georgia played their players because they lost their championship game. Georgia didn't get cheated out of anything. Let's make that very clear right now. Georgia did not get cheated out of anything. Georgia lost their championship. And at that point, once you lose, especially your championship, your position in the college football playoffs is forfeit. You cannot even claim to be the best team in your conference because you lost your conference championship.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're right. Georgia players played the same bowl game, but they did not get cheated, despite the concept of, oh, well, my eye tells me that they were the better team. And that's great. They lost the conference championship, and therefore, statistically, they cannot claim to be the best team in their conference. So how could they make the playoffs?
Yeah. And to your point, because I totally think it's true, I think depending on the team that's pretty much in the same situation, right? Depending on the name of the team and what kind of following they have, changes that dynamic. I honestly think, and I think you said this a few weeks ago, if Notre Dame would have went undefeated in a shitty fucking conference, they would have 100% not been kicked out. Right.
They're not even in a conference. You're 100% right. Notre Dame wouldn't even have to win a conference championship to make the college football playoffs because they're not in a conference.
Right.
It's completely skewed. Who they want.
It's completely skewed.
But Florida State got screwed at the end of the day. I don't blame their players for not playing. It was essentially a protest, which I'm totally fine with. A lot of people
shouldn't have even showed up, honestly.
They should have accepted the bowl, and then the night before been like, we all got food poisoning. We can't play. Sorry.
We all got COVID.
Yep. And I'll tell you right now, ESPN wants the SEC in the college football playoffs. And they are so mad that Alabama lost. So mad. And Alabama lost in true American fashion. They got their asses beat on the offensive side of the ball. The whole complaint against Florida State was that they lost their quarterback and wouldn't be able to produce enough offense in the college football playoffs. Well, Alabama's quarterback produced like 118 yards of offense. Meanwhile, Florida State's third string quarterback threw for 150 against Georgia, which is a better defense than what Michigan's trying out there.
Dude, on top of the fact that you're essentially telling a college program made up of what, like fucking 60-something kids, go fuck yourselves. You're only as good as your quarterback, and he's hurt. So piss off. Yeah. It's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm glad I fucking kept a 3.8 GPA all year and worked my ass off to be on the field and go undefeated for you to be like, fuck you kids. Like,
it was one kid. You know what's crazy? If he was so vital to the team, why didn't he win the Heisman Trophy?
Right.
Not even that. The Bama, that last play for the overtime, that was a horrible play call. QB dropped the middle. They read it all over. Destroyed him.
Alabama.
I am so happy that Dave Portnoy won that $1 million bet and then just flaunted it in everybody's face. I love it so much. It just because that's what Bama deserved, and that's what the NCAA deserves, just to be made a mockery of, because they are a joke. They're an absolute joke. You've essentially turned what should be competition into a popularity contest. So why don't we just fucking, instead of these teams playing each other, we'll just do like The Voice, and maybe they can all sing, and then we'll vote who we want to see in the fucking national championship next year. We'll all call in. No, I love Ruben Studdard. I want to see his ass out there. Fucking put him in.
I saw Clay Matthews sing in Pitch Perfect 2 or 3, and it was glorious. He sang Bootylicious.
I'm just saying, it's stupid. It completely ruins the point of sports. It's just a joke. And then they're gonna sit there and try to backpedal and be like, "Oh, we're still working out the kinks." It's like, no, you knew exactly what the fuck you were doing.
They knew exactly what they were doing. The ESPN was completely complicit. We move on to the pros. So real quick, we'll get into the non-football side of the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers in a big, I don't even know what to call it. They're in a beef, him and Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel threatening a lawsuit against Aaron Rodgers or the Pat McAfee show or Disney. I don't know, because Jimmy Kimmel works for Disney, and so does Pat McAfee.
No, he's essentially saying that he would sue Aaron Rodgers directly for slander. And he can't, though, because he never said anything.
Hold on. Before we get into he can't, Brooke, you're our resident lawyer. Does the man have a foot, a box to stand on?
So the thing is, I don't know what Rodgers actually said.
Okay,
What
so here we go.
He goes,
Explain.
they're going to release that list soon. There's a lot of people, Jimmy Kimmel included, who don't want that list released.
He can't sue him for that. He can't sue him for that because he never said he was on the list. He never made a statement of fact. He just said a lot of people don't want that list to come out, including Jimmy Kimmel. He gave an opinion, not a statement of fact. You can't get sued for giving an opinion.
I don't think it's slander. So slander is has to be a false statement.
Intent.
Have to have the intent, obviously, too, and then you have to disseminate third parties. Disseminated third parties, he did prove he was on a TV show with thousands of viewers. That's previously proved. Whether or not he actually said anything wrong and if it was false, I mean, it's more of an opinion. The other issue here,
he poked at him. He's poking at him because he knows Jimmy Kimmel's a fucking liberal. He knows he pushes the liberal agenda every night on his fucking stupid show that nobody watches.
No, I don't think that's why.
Of course it is, and it's because he fucking started with him about the vaccine, telling rolling clips about and essentially saying Aaron Rodgers is a fucking moron. Congratulations, but you know what? Jimmy Kimmel asked for it by making statements on Twitter saying we shouldn't put any of these people that didn't get the vaccine in ICU beds. Let them just die in their homes.
Wait, let me finish. So, as a public figure, though, Jimmy Kimmel is a different level of slander. So someone like us, it'd be that really quick and easy to say it's a false statement, should have been made, disseminated to third party. As a public figure, there has to have as an extra element that gets added to slander, and that's actual malice. So whether or not there's actual malice behind what Aaron Rodgers said,
right? Like if he's trying to ruin his career or whatever.
Yeah,
essentially, if he's going to hurt his public image.
Yeah, but we don't. But what did he actually say? He didn't say that Jimmy Kimmel.
He didn't say he was on it. He said a lot of people don't want that list to come out, like Jimmy Kimmel and his friends.
Yeah,
who does Jimmy Kimmel have on his nightly show? Nothing but Democrat politicians and Hollywood elites. Who a bunch of them are on that fucking list.
Let's not get into the whole Democrat Republican thing. All right, but
it's no, it's
not.
It's relevant.
Go find
it's relevant.
Republicans on there too. It's not. It's completely irrelevant.
You can't stop cutting me off. Stop cutting me off because you're not going to let me explain why it's relevant.
First of all, you're the king of cutoffs. All right, you haven't let Rook speak in 3 weeks.
It's not relevant. Saying it's not relevant is a joke because Jimmy Kimmel literally attacked Aaron Rodgers because of his.
That is relevant. His politics are not relevant. He attacked him verbally
because of his politics.
That's irrelevant. No.
Yes, it was.
Kimmel's politics, but it has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers.
It was Aaron Rodgers' politics saying that the fucking vaccine is bullshit.
Aaron Rodgers right now, if he was a Republican or a conservative or a Democrat, he'd be like neither. They both fucking suck. So it's not his politics. It's not left versus right. It's Jimmy Kimmel versus Aaron Rodgers. Okay. He called him a tinfoil hat.
What literally has been the political agenda of the past 2 fucking years.
But you're insinuating that if Jimmy Kimmel made the same jokes but was Republican, Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have shit to say about him.
If Jimmy Kimmel, but that's the problem. A Republican wouldn't fucking sit there and defend the vaccine and say you're a fucking shill who's getting people killed, even though everybody knows the statistics show that the fucking vaccine doesn't work. It has 7% efficacy. That doesn't mean it works.
Tell that to all the Republicans in the military that made military personnel get the vaccine.
Oh, you mean the rhinos? You mean like your fucking one-eyed friend down in Texas who's retarded?
He's Republican, isn't he? That's your buddy.
Not my buddy.
I digress.
I'm a libertarian, bitch. Suck it.
I digress.
You're free to do so.
Long story short, Jimmy Kimmel big mad. Aaron Rodgers is probably sitting at home laughing right now. And what's really crazy is obviously all the media personnel have turned on Aaron Rodgers because he makes them look bad on a daily basis. So, of course, they're going to just say stupid things about him and to him and through him and in him together with the Holy Spirit forever and ever. That being said, Zach Wilson's out for Sunday. Good for him. He shouldn't have to go out there and get destroyed by the Patriots defensive line for the greater glory of anything going on in the New York or New Jersey greater area. The Tommy DeVito era is finally over. Thank God. I was so tired of that embarrassment. Oh my God. Listen, if you're Italian and you go like this, I guarantee you don't actually do that. and it would be like me calling people Mang. There ain't no fucking Spanish people that calls people Mang. If you're saying Mang, is you're making fun of fucking Al Pacino, all right, as pretending to be Hispanic, all right. So any Italian go, yeah, bibbity bobbity, yeah, baba good, yeah. Nobody talks like that.
Such a bullshit stereotype that's irritating. Like Irish people drink Guinness.
Yeah, seriously.
That's just delicious.
Right? It's just fucking annoying. Oh,
Hey, man,
don't insinuate, Rook. I see you fucking laughing. Okay, this is a forged in a Guinness glass. See? You see?
With the whole Tommy Cutlets thing, the whole fucking it was the
got old
stupidest
fast.
shit in the world.
It's over.
It got old fast because, but not to cut you off, Rook. I'm just gonna make one statement.
Coming off again.
I'm gonna make one statement, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. For everybody else in the country, it's funny, it's cute, it's exactly what the Jersey Shore was. When you live amongst these fucking morons, it's irritating.
You and I have been friends almost 20 years. I've never once seen you go like this.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Because I don't do it. I'm not.
No Italian person does that.
I talk with my hands a lot though.
Only fucking caricatures in movies do that shit. If you want to see people do that, watch the movie Mafia with Jay Moore, where he pretends to be Italian.
He always is like this, right?
Or what's the one with Rocky, where Rocky pretends to be in the Mafia? Oscar?
I don't know.
Oh,
I think it's called Oscar.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one that just came out with Sly Stallone.
Oh no, that's Tulsa King. It's amazing.
Tulsa King.
No, this was it was a comedy in the 90s. It was called Oscar, and he's like a mafia boss.
Gotcha.
I remember, but
It's a caricature. It's a fucking stupid caricature.
This guy cuts me off again. Let's say I really wish Tyrod Taylor never got hurt because Tyrod Taylor is a really good backup. And I think he would have put. Obviously, I mean, Tommy DeVito played well for those 3 games. They won 3 straight. But Tyrod Taylor is one of those guys where, like, if he never got hurt, what could his career actually been? He got hurt everywhere.
But let's be real, okay? We all know why Tyrod Taylor wasn't playing quarterback for the New York Football Giants. It had nothing to do with his injury or the way he plays football. It had everything to do with who their owner is and what he likes to see under center. Okay, because Geno Smith was on the fucking Giants, okay, and I'm fairly certain he's doing pretty damn well for the Seattle Seahawks, okay. The Seahawks aren't doing well, but Geno Smith's not the problem, okay.
Dude, they not nothing, the Giants absolutely ruined Geno Smith, and they made New York hate Geno Smith on purpose.
For whatever reason, Geno Smith wasn't good enough for the New York Giants, and I know what the reason is. And I'm usually not that person, but I'll say it about the fucking Giants because they were like the last team in the NFL to have a black quarterback play a game.
All right, listen.
Like not even start, just take a snap. And I can almost promise you that somewhere John Mara's like, that fucking Dayball's, he's getting fired. How dare he? A colored man? He put a colored guy on my team?
I'm not getting into this.
He definitely calls him colored too because he's an old man and that's how they talk.
All right, guys, I'll see you later.
I'm not cutting you off. Not me.
I'll see you guys later.
He left. I don't know where he went.
He's gone.
I'm not letting him back. Oh, he's back. Fuck him.
Are you let me talk or no? Because every time
Go ahead.
you guys interrupt.
Tell us about your racist owner.
I'm not talking about that because that's like, irrelevant.
What do you mean by you guys?
Tommy DeVito had to play because Tyrod Taylor was in the IR and he couldn't come back in time. And then when he finally came back, Tommy DeVito already won 2 games. So it's like, yeah, stay with the hot hand at that point. And then he won the 3rd, and then he lost to the Eagles. They took him out during the Eagles. Lost to the Saints, and then during the Eagles game, they switched him for Tyrod Taylor. So he would have played if it wasn't the fact they were sticking with the hot hand at that point.
So my question
it wouldn't
is,
have made a difference either.
Point,
if we're going to be honest,
how do you
the
Giants
season was going in the shitter.
You're watching football practice as a coach, right? You have Tyrod Taylor, who's a proven commodity in the NFL, and then you have Tommy DeVito, who's selling T-shirts probably on the side of the turnpike next year. All the T-shirts he made of himself doing this year, he's going to be selling that on the turnpike next year. The question I have for you is, yes, he won 2 games, or the team won 2 games with him as the quarterback.
Which he played
as a coach in the NFL. The thing that I'm not understanding is if he won those 2 games and you truly feel like he won because of him, you lost against the Saints. How does it turn that quickly that you're now, oh no, we're benching you in the middle of a game? Because Mike White was a Jets backup, and if he never got injured, he'd still be the starter today.
He said he needed a spark off the bench, and he was like, that's the move I need to do. And it did spark the team. The team
spark off the bench to do what? You already lost. You're already done.
They were in that game. They could have won that game easily.
To do
They
what?
put him in, but you're missing the point. The business side of things, and we all hate the business side of sports. He was a public figure that is now sparking an interest in a fucking team that everybody knew wasn't making the playoffs. So if you're putting fans in the stands and giving them something to come and cheer for, you're going to do that because why? It sells tickets, it sells T-shirts, it sells popcorn and hot dogs.
I know, and that's why they did it.
Right.
Of course they did.
100%.
But
why
they needed to bench, and they benched him.
All the bibbity bobbities in Jersey would have went to the game for the rest of the season if Tommy DeVito was still playing.
People were still going to the game. People were at the game last week.
You don't understand
the Giants. Wait, let me just get to the actual Giants instead of talking about all like side
the bullshit. We're here for the bullshit.
None of it matters. I'm trying to say is the New York Giants actually probably would have been a good last year they made the playoffs on all these games of one possession games. They all went their way. This year is a complete opposite. When you think about the Bills game, they should have won. They should have beat the Jets. It wasn't for the kicker falling apart at the end. They could have beat the Rams this week. And they could have beat they almost beat the Eagles. So you think if you flip that, you have the Giants making the playoffs this year.
And the Jets should have beat KC. And the what ifs game, you could do that for every team in the league, and every team in the league should be going to the Super Bowl if you won the what ifs. But
what I'm trying to say is this year's Giants is the complete opposite of last year's Giants. See what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to say
it's not though, because it's the same team. You just got lucky that you made the playoffs last year. Everybody knew you were wasting your own time.
They didn't get lucky. They were playing well last year. It's not luck. Dude. It's winning football games.
Based on Daniel Jones, yes, that was absolute luck. That was an anomaly.
No way. We've been in the show before, and you've always said, "Oh, if you win a game in the NFL, you still win a game in the NFL." Not because of luck. You still win a game in the NFL.
But sometimes you get lucky. I mean,
sometimes because Saquon Barkley had the season of his career, and they didn't let Daniel Jones throw the fucking ball half as much as he did in every previous season. They came out with a way to essentially lean on the good players and get themselves in a position to get in just barely enough wins to be relevant and get a playoff fucking start, right? Where for any moment during that fucking season, did you think that the Giants were going to the fucking Super Bowl?
No, we didn't. But
okay, so then you knew what it was. It was a fucking season where you were just barely making the playoffs, and it's a tip of the cap to the fucking team because they make more money. It has nothing to do with being good enough to be in the playoffs. You were losing. You guys went to the playoffs to lose.
That's to say the Giants making the Super Bowl. Like every team, like only two teams in the NFL make the Super Bowl.
I understand, but you could tell a team has the cap. If I asked you right now, would you be surprised if Miami Dolphins made it to the Super Bowl?
No.
Would you be surprised if Kansas City made it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but it's different.
It's not because the Giants never had a fucking chance, dude. The Giants never had a caliber of team to come even close. And even if they did make it, they wouldn't have a fucking prayer in hell to fucking win it. Okay, dude, you had no chance. You essentially wasted everybody's time, and every dumb fucking Giant fan that went there and spent $800 on a playoff ticket is fucking out of their mind because you just were waiting to lose. Congratulations.
Well, I think what you're trying to say is you're saying, oh, they got lucky last year. They got to the playoffs. That's not true.
Your team is not good enough to be a fucking playoff team, dude. You got lucky, and enough things went your way that you made the fucking playoffs by the skin of your teeth.
Hold on.
They won a playoff game. What are you out of your mind?
I'm not out of my mind because they did exactly what everybody thought they were going to do. It's fucking lose.
You're two Jet fans that hate the Giants. That's what it comes down to.
Hold on.
They were lucky last year. They were a good team last year.
Anthony,
this year they're not.
They were not a good team.
To start the season, would you have bet that the Giants were going to make the playoffs last year?
Last year, no.
Then they weren't a good enough team to make the playoffs, and you were surprised just as much as everybody else.
They were going to win.
The other question is,
no one went to the season saying they were going to win.
Did you think because they weren't a good enough team to make the playoffs? They made the playoffs very luckily.
Making our point.
If you went to this season, everyone thought the Giants were going to make the playoffs.
Nobody fucking thought that. Me and Nick told you from Jump Street that you fucking spent $30 million on Daniel Jones to not make the playoffs. We said it in the preseason, dude. You can't say that.
I don't know anybody that said the Giants were making the playoffs.
Said the Giants were making. I'm not saying you two. Other people.
I don't know anybody.
Yeah, there are a lot of stupid people out there.
I don't know anybody in the NFL community.
In what world on paper did the Giants have a playoff fucking bound team, dude? You didn't fucking help your offense at all.
I'm not saying I didn't say there were, but I'm saying other people said.
Okay, so there's a lot of stupid people out there. They mostly listen to WFAN. Because
of what happened last year, people thought the Giants would be once again in a playoff team.
Dude, and Met fans every year think it's their fucking year, and they've been wrong for 3 fucking decades.
Well, that's every team. If you're a fan of your team, you're going to think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Not really. Not really, dude, because every year I fucking just hope that the Jets are a viable team and maybe they'll do something to have me root for them a little longer in the year. I know it's an epic shit show.
Andrew from Divots and Pivots says the Rook has a shelf of moral trophies in a dark, lonely room. Rook, I'll be honest with you. The Giants made the playoffs last year. I did not think they could make the playoffs again this year. I didn't think they had a roster to make the playoffs this year. And it was, in my mind, it would be like if the Jets made the playoffs last year. I'd have been like, Jesus Christ, we just cost ourselves a worse draft pick because this team's not going to make the playoffs next year.
Right.
Unless Aaron Rodgers, this is pre-Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy this season, it's a different story. But with Daniel Jones as quarterback, I didn't think that it was sustainable. And that was my thought. If they made the playoffs again this year, it would be as a wild card, one and done.
We're just trying to be realistic, though, because we told you from Jump Street. We told you the second that they signed Daniel Jones for fucking $30-something million a year that's the dumbest thing ever. And everybody attacked us on Twitter. That's what the going rate is for a B-plus quarterback. It's like, okay, and you're an idiot if you think Daniel Jones is a B-plus quarterback. The guy has more interceptions than he does touchdown passes. He's a fucking joke. He's a one-tool player, and that tool is don't throw the ball because you're going to get intercepted. Stupid.
So,
but I didn't know this.
We all knew this, and you actually thought anybody that thought going into this year with that quarterback and the team that they didn't improve at all, that, oh man, we're going to win 2 playoff games this year. It's like, I would bet every fucking thing I have and every one of your lives on that fucking bet if I was blind and didn't watch a second of sports, because it was obvious that team did nothing to make themselves better, that they were just in a fucking hole. They should have never gave Daniel Jones money. They should have tore it fucking down.
I agree with you. They should never give him money.
So I think with regards to the Giants and everything,
you mute me one more fucking time. I swear to God.
Cutting everybody off,
dude. You fucking
the show, and nobody can hear fucking anything.
Minute rants. Now you're fucking muted. How do you like it? You're allowed to go on your rants and nobody else can.
5 fucking hours rants. You're the king of rants.
I don't want to rant. I just want to talk.
You don't like it, do you? There's no idea. He's muted.
I'm gonna hurt you.
You can try.
I know where you live, boy.
You can try.
Anyhow, I was trying to speak quietly and have an actual discussion, but TJ's fucking nut job and started screaming like a psychopath. Now who the fuck's muted?
Bye, Nick. All right, thanks everybody for coming in.
America, I can do this all day.
Oh, for another minute and 10 seconds.
I don't think the Giants had the team to do it. I didn't think they had it last year. They got lucky. They made it to the playoffs. Good for them. But I honestly sat there and thought, like, this is not sustainable. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think the thing that we talked about, and I saw people in the NFL community talking about, was the Giants this year last year, were the Jets when the Jets made the playoffs with Mark Sanchez. The same conversation was had about Sanchez, about that is what you pay a starting quarterback in the NFL. And it was a mistake then. And it was a mistake now. The Giants aren't a good football team, even if they don't have all the injuries. They needed a lot of the ball bouncing their way.
I said Daniel Jones is not the guy. I knew he wasn't. I said the offseason they should have signed Saquon and they should have tagged Daniel Jones.
But again,
all along.
But again, if you need to sit there and hope for the ball bouncing in your direction, you're not a good team.
No,
you're sitting there saying they should have won this, they should have won that. Yeah, I mean, and if the Queen had ball, she'd be the
4 kickers. They lost games with kicks by an injured goal kicker.
Every team in the NFL does that. But right now, there's about 6 teams in the NFL that if they won the Super Bowl, you wouldn't be sitting there going, "Oh my God!" But if the Giants fucking made the playoffs, you'd be like, "Oh my God!"
Before we end this, if anybody had a reason to bitch, is the Jets losing Aaron Rodgers, and Giant fans are bitching about injuries more than the fucking Jet fans. So cut the shit.
I don't bitch about injuries.
I'm just saying that it's not a bounce going your way. It's your fucking team didn't have a shot. You didn't have a shot this year.
Oh, leave the kicker alone. That's all we got for you next week. That's next week. There's an outro.